The Department of Defense is the largest federal agency in the United States, responsible for overseeing the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, and the newest branch, the Space Force. It is a sprawling institution, both in size and influence, with a reach that extends across the globe. Its mission is clear: to deter war and ensure national security. But the scope of its operations is vast, with millions of service members and civilian employees stationed at hundreds of bases worldwide, from remote outposts to major international hubs. The Department of Defense is not just a military force, it is a global presence, shaping alliances and projecting power. The Pentagon itself stands as a powerful symbol of American military might and strategic command, its five-sided structure instantly recognizable around the world. Beyond combat operations, the department manages one of the world's largest budgets, supports the families of those who serve, and leads humanitarian missions in times of crisis. Its responsibilities touch nearly every aspect of American life, from disaster relief to technological innovation. For decades, its name has reflected a focus on protection and stability, a shield, not a sword. The Department of Defense has long been seen as a guardian, emphasizing restraint and the use of force only when absolutely necessary. But on September 5, 2025, President Trump announced a dramatic shift, an executive order to begin renaming it the Department of War. This decision marks a significant departure from the language of defense and deterrence. This isn't just a change of signage, it's a signal to the world of a more assertive, confrontational military posture. The new name suggests a willingness to take bold action and a readiness to engage proactively rather than simply respond to threats. The move has ignited a national debate about the military's true purpose. Is America preparing for more frequent conflict or simply being more honest about its intentions? Citizens, politicians, and experts are all weighing in. Names matter. They shape perceptions and define missions. The words we use to describe our institutions influence how they are understood, both at home and abroad. For 75 years, defense implied military action as a last resort, a commitment to peace through strength. The name carried with it a sense of caution and responsibility. War suggests a readiness to act, not just react. It signals a shift in philosophy from defense to offense and could change the way the military approaches its mission. This change could reshape how the military operates, how other nations view America, and how Americans see their armed forces. Allies and adversaries alike will be watching closely to see what this new era means. The name Department of War carries a very different message, one that could have far-reaching consequences for diplomacy, strategy, and the nation's identity. The question now is more urgent than ever. What should the military's role be in the 21st century? As America faces new challenges and shifting global dynamics, the answer will shape the future for generations to come. President Trump has long argued that the name Department of Defense is too passive for a nation like the United States, which he believes should project strength and confidence on the world stage. In his view, the current title doesn't fully capture the spirit of American power or the seriousness of its military mission. That's why Trump wants to revive the historic Department of War title, a name he says sends a clear, unmistakable message to both allies and adversaries about America's resolve and willingness to defend its interests. Through a new executive order, Trump is allowing the department to use Department of War as an official secondary title, a move that's already sparking debate in Washington and beyond. The order also authorizes Secretary Pete Hegseth to adopt the title Secretary of War, a symbolic but significant change that Trump hopes will inspire a new mindset throughout the military's leadership. But this isn't just about changing names or titles. It's about fundamentally shifting the department's culture and mission, according to Trump and his supporters. Trump's stated goal is to restore what he calls a warrior ethos, putting renewed emphasis on combat readiness, discipline, and the ability to win wars, rather than simply manage conflicts. He wants to move the department away from what he describes as bureaucratic distractions and red tape that, in his view, have slowed down decision-making and weakened the military's focus. Trump and his allies argue that recent diversity and inclusion initiatives, while well-intentioned, have diluted the military's core mission of defending the nation and winning wars. The name change is just one part of a much broader America First vision, which unapologetically prioritizes national interests and seeks to reassert American dominance on the global stage. Trump often points to America's victories in the world wars, when the department was still called the Department of War, as proof that a strong, focused military identity can lead to historic achievements. He believes that reviving the old name will help recapture that spirit of unity, determination, and dominance that defined America's greatest military moments. While the process of rebranding has begun, Trump acknowledges that transforming the department's culture and mission will require more than just an executive order. It will take time, leadership, and a shift in mindset. As the world watches closely, America stands at a crossroads, redefining what it means to be a military superpower in the 21st century. The Department of War dates back to 1789, making it one of the oldest institutions in the United States government. Its creation reflected the young nation's urgent need to organize its military forces and defend its sovereignty in a turbulent world. For generations, it managed the Army and, for a time, the Navy, overseeing the country's military might as America expanded and faced new threats. Its name was blunt, its mission clear: organize, fund, and direct the nation's wars, ensuring the country was always ready for conflict. Under this banner, the U.S. fought in conflicts from the War of 1812 to World War II, shaping the course of American and world history. The Secretary of War was a key presidential advisor, shaping national security policy and guiding the nation through times of crisis and peace alike. But after World War II, the devastation of atomic warfare changed everything, introducing a new era of existential threat. Leaders realized that future wars could threaten not just nations but humanity itself, forcing a fundamental rethinking of military priorities. The focus shifted from simply winning wars to preventing them, emphasizing diplomacy, deterrence, and global stability. The National Security Act of 1947 created a new structure for American defense, including the National Security Council and the CIA, to coordinate intelligence and strategy. In 1949, the national military establishment was renamed the Department of Defense, unifying the armed services under a single civilian-led department. This was more than a name change. It signaled a new era. The military's role was now to deter aggression, maintain peace, and protect the nation from new, unpredictable dangers. Defense reflected a cautious, protective posture in a dangerous world, emphasizing readiness and restraint over conquest. The shift was a direct response to the horrors of global conflict and the dawn of the atomic age, when the stakes of war became unimaginably high. Today, the debate continues. Should America return to a more direct, war-focused identity, or remain committed to the ideals of defense and peace in an uncertain world? Renaming a federal agency like the Department of Defense is a complex process. President Trump's executive order is just the start. Only Congress can make the change permanent. A bill must pass both chambers, survive committee scrutiny, and reach the president's desk. The process is likely to be contentious, with political opposition and public debate. There's also the practical matter. Rebranding would cost up to $1 billion, updating signs, uniforms, websites, and more. Critics question if this is a responsible use of taxpayer money. Supporters argue it's an investment in military culture and global image. The cost debate highlights the deep divide over the value of this symbolic shift. Trump's push for the Department of War is about instilling a warrior ethos throughout the military. He and Secretary Hegseth argue that social policies and DEI initiatives have distracted from combat readiness. The name change is meant to refocus the military on fighting and winning wars, not social programs. The administration hopes this will transform military culture from the Pentagon to new recruits. Training, strategy, and resources would be relentlessly focused on conflict. The goal: boost morale, attract recruits drawn to a warrior ideal, and make the military more effective. Trump links the old name to past victories, hoping to revive that spirit. The message: a Department of War is more aggressive, decisive, and feared, better equipped for a dangerous world. The proposal has sparked fierce debate, exposing deep divisions in how Americans view their military. Supporters say Department of War is honest and empowering, reinforcing a proud warrior tradition and sending a message of strength. They argue defense is misleading, masking the reality of proactive military operations. Critics call the change a step backward, fearing it signals aggression and undermines diplomacy. Senator Andy Kim calls it childish, arguing Americans want to prevent wars, not tout them. Opponents worry about diplomatic fallout and the billion-dollar cost, calling it wasteful and reckless. The debate is about more than a name. It's about national identity, values, and America's role in the world. The name itself has become a rallying point for both sides. Trump's announcement comes amid rising global tensions, especially with China's growing military assertiveness. China's recent military parade was a direct message to the U.S., fueling concerns about America's readiness. The name change is a symbolic countermove, signaling that the U.S. is sharpening its focus on war. It's meant as a deterrent, echoing the maxim, "If you want peace, prepare for war." But the risks are real. U.S. allies may see this as a shift toward aggression, straining partnerships. Adversaries could use the change as propaganda, painting America as a warmonger. The world is watching, interpreting this move through their own lenses. The name change is both a statement of intent and a test of America's global leadership. How it's received abroad could shape international relations for years to come. For most Americans, the name change may seem distant, but its impact could be profound. It forces a national conversation about the military's true purpose, defense, or warfighting. The shift could affect military families, with more rigorous training and a greater focus on combat readiness. It may mean more time away from home and a higher operational tempo. The debate reflects deeper cultural and political divides about American exceptionalism, foreign policy, and the military's role. For some, Department of War is a proud symbol. For others, it's a troubling sign of militarism. Ultimately, the name is a statement of intent and national character. The answer will shape America's future and its place in the world. The proposal to rename the Department of Defense is a powerful symbol with two meanings. For Trump and supporters, it's a bold declaration of strength, a return to a warrior ethos, and a message to rivals. For critics, it's a dangerous, costly step away from the post-war consensus of peace and deterrence. The historical context offers arguments for both sides. Victory under the Department of War, caution after World War II. The debate is about which lesson matters most for today's challenges. Is strength best shown by embracing war, or by committing to defense and peace? Congress and the American people will decide which path to take. The final name on the Pentagon's walls will reflect America's vision of itself and its message to the world.